Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your man, Sorrel Bell, back with a brand new episode of Anywhere But Here. Today, we are at Atomic Bar downtown, and I'm with the one and only, the lovely Kae Oden, designer,
Hi, Sorrel.
poet, writer, young entrepreneur. What's going on?
Man, I am so overwhelmed with joy lately. I've had a lot of
Really?
movement in the poetry scene. I'm finally starting to showcase my work for what it is.
How does that feel for you?
It feels good. You and I, we've talked about how sometimes I have a bit of an imposter syndrome, where I question if I deserve to be in spaces. But lately, I feel whole, and I feel like I've earned where I'm at, and like I deserve to be here, and that people need to see what I have.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And that's what I told you when I first met you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and here we are, fast forward. You have an entire short film out.
I do.
I know Men Get Lonely too.
I know Men Get Lonely too.
Tell us about that. For anyone who doesn't know or they haven't seen it, explain what that is.
So I Know Men Get Lonely Too is my short film directed by Earl Swander. It is a Peaceful Human production.
The one and only.
The one and only, the genius. So I Know Men Get Lonely Too is a poem that I wrote about the mental health of black men and how negligent we as a community can be, and especially in the black community. I feel like oftentimes we either don't care, we just turn the other cheek to the mental health and the well-being of men. And so I wanted to write about it because I realized I have a lot of black men around me, and there's often a lot of times where I know me and my girlfriends, we're feeling away, we're sad, and
Pissed off.
yeah, all of it, or all the feelings, and we can openly vocalize that and be firm in our feelings and say, you know what, I'm sad today, or I'm mad today, or I'm super happy today, and it can be okay. But when men around us do that, then they're seen as how do I say this? They're
Listen,
seen
let's
as
get to the
soft.
nitty-gritty. We
They're
weak.
seen as soft, or
We're
they're
weak.
they're seen as weak. Yeah. And I wanted to address that because I feel like if I feel these things, and if I'm sad, mad, happy, glad, all that, if I'm lonely, then I know the men around me are too. And so I wanted to address it. And I turned it into a song. I turned it into a song featuring Fendi Sean. He scats on it. He plays the horn on it, the pocket trumpet to be specific. Kiari Stone produced it.
Okay.
Wes on Acid co-produced
Okay.
it. It was beautiful.
It's homegrown.
Yes, it's homegrown.
Very homegrown.
Very much so.
Now, with this project, did you find any difficulties writing this from a woman's perspective?
Yes, because I did not want to use I. And I wanted to step into the shoes of men. I think when I told you I was writing it, or I was working on it, I was like, please send me inspo of black songs, of men feeling away. And so I really had to think outside of my own personal feelings and my own situations, and truly observe the times where I've been involved with black men, where I've had conversations with black men, and tap into that. Yeah.
And I think you sparked a lot too, because I noticed as this film was coming out and people watched it, a lot of men got to say, damn, I relate.
A lot.
And we had our own private conversations
We
about,
did.
yo, I feel that way sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel lonely at times, and I think it's difficult to translate those feelings because of what you said. And I think now a lot more people are going to be more thoughtful of sharing
Yes.
those feelings.
I think I didn't intend to, but beautiful enough, it opened a gateway to men feeling like it's okay to speak about how they feel. I've never had so many men of color, so many black men in my life come to me and tell me, you know what, Kayla, I feel this way all the time. Or thank you so much for speaking up when I don't really know how to, And it's beautiful, and I think
That's really beautiful.
Yes, and I'm really proud of it, and I'm proud of Earl, and I'm proud of Kiari.
Shout out my guy, man.
Shout out him.
Shout out him.
Yes,
Shout out the whole
him.
gang.
Shout out the whole gang.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was beautiful, and we did a screening for it. We had Snowed Up there.
Snowed Up was in the building.
Yep, was in the building. We had Doughboy Tacos there.
Yes.
We had Tatwood there, which was so cool.
Yes.
Earl Jamari, who started my film, and Zayden, your baby. But Earl Jamari and I, we all got matching tattoos that say Lonely Too in my handwriting.
Okay.
And so it was a really, really beautiful night, hosted at Kodo Bike. Shout out Sean, the owner of Kodo Bike.
Yes.
And even the short film and the whole entire screening and the way it was just displayed, it felt like a safe family environment. You know, like there were kids there, my family was there. There were a lot of locals there, you know, and a lot of people that...
The city came out. Just say
the city came out. The city came out.
It's okay.
Yes,
it's okay.
yes. The city came out. And it was just beautiful to see the city come out for something that was about mental health. It was really, really beautiful, yeah.
Right.
And poetry, you know? People come out for poetry. Like, that's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this, let's be clear, this was your directorial debut as far as film and taking words that were written and turning into a screenplay, right?
Yes. This
How
was my
was that
first
experience? Working with the director?
Working with a director, a great one.
Was he difficult?
Was he difficult?
Yeah.
No. He is so articulate with what he does and really wants to send a message and wants it to be meaningful, you know, and he wants it to be impactful. And I think
and
black.
It has to be rich and black. We know how Earl is.
Of course, yeah. And black, and it was that, you know. And I think him and I were on the same page as to what our vision was and what we wanted, that it just flowed so easily. And him and I speak about just how organic it was and how, despite like the small bumps and trials we had.
Yes, let's talk about it. Listen, because people may not know, but I was on the inside, okay?
Yes, so.
You know, so with this, because I've had conversations with people about this film, right?
Yes.
And they're like, yo, this is contemporary art. And I told someone, I said, that wasn't even the original vision.
No.
So for you as a first-time, you know, writer going into this film world, how was the transition of making those changes or working with a director who said, no, we're going to switch this out? Because we know you like to be set on things.
Yes, like I'm very much so, like I want to see what I want to see. I want to hear what I want to hear. I want what I want, you know? I want what I want. And it's for a reason, like, but I was lucky enough to work with someone that I trusted and whose work I had seen work before, you know? And so a lot of it was just me, like, kind of putting my ego to the side and trusting Earl's vision and trusting that, like, even in life, I've learned a lot this past year that sometimes things do not go as planned, and I need to just go with it, right?
And
just let go. I gotta let go. And so it was a lot of letting go of ideas that I had originally had or things I had originally wanted, and opening my mind and opening my heart to just different things. And I'm so glad I did that, and I'm glad that I was working with someone who made me feel safe enough in my art to do that.
Shout out to the boy Earl, man.
Shout out to the boy Earl Swander.
Shout out to him. This guy is peaceful human out here working.
Hard.
Very hard. Very hard.
Yes, he's going to be so great and so
he's
successful.
Already there. He's already there.
Yes.
You know, now back to you for a minute. I think this is impressive because this is your first film.
My first film.
But you really have just came onto the scene as a creative, as a poet, as a writer, as all these different variations of titles. Where's the beginning? What's the beginning of the story?
Wow, so I've been writing since I was about 14. It really started with growing up. So I'm Black and Mexican, you know, and I have a Mexican mother, and I was born and raised in a Mexican household, you know, Black girl in a Mexican household, right? So, it was a tug with like my family, and I remember not always being the best at expressing myself vocally. I knew I could doodle a little, I could sketch, and I knew I could write. And I remember times where I would be at odds with my mom specifically, and I was like, I don't know how to get across that I feel this way, but I'm just going to write it. And I started writing notes and leaving them when I would go to school or when I would go to my friend's house and kind of expressing myself through that.
Would you leave them for the people, like for your mom or for your friends?
I would specifically leave them for who it was meant for. So if it was for my mom, I'm leaving it on my mom's dresser. Like, I'm intentionally, like, it says mom on it.
You gonna see this.
You gonna see this, mama. Like, I got something to say, right? And so, yeah, a couple times I did it, and sometimes she would write me back. Most of the time she would write me back. And that was really the only healthy communication I had growing up, was writing back and forth. And so then when I grew a little older and I would feel things, and I still can't really express with my words, but I would sit there and write. And so I had journals, and I would write even if I knew no one would ever see it. I'm gonna write it.
Still writing.
I'm still writing because it's like, I need to do this for me. This is the only way I really know how to say what I gotta say. And I'm the type of person who, regardless of the outcome, regardless if anyone hears or reads it or sees it, I just need to let it out for me, right? So I just started writing, journaling, and then it turned into poetry somehow. And my biological dad passed away when I was a baby, but when I was like 17, my grandma found a box of his things, and no one knows this. So this is like, I'm telling you this for the first time. No one knows this.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, so she found a few like notes that he had written my mom when he was in jail, and they were poems. They were like these beautiful love poems. And it was amazing, and I could barely read it because it was in that like nice ass cursive, that prison cursive.
Yeah, that
jail cursive was different, right? So I could barely read it, but I remember just being like, oh my goodness, my dad was this phenomenal writer. And then I tapped into it even more. So then I started writing poems about anything, right? Anything, and then
boyfriends.
Okay. All types of things, all types of teenager shit, right? And then I stopped writing. I was in a relationship for about 3 years. And through that relationship, not only did I lose a lot of what I like to do, but I lost myself, and I lost the things that kept me sane. So writing.
That's a long time, though.
3 years is a long time.
That's a long time to be with someone else, but not be with yourself.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. I don't think I realized in the moment how much time had passed that I had lost myself, and that I hadn't sat with myself until after it passed. But I was in a writer's block, man. I was in a writer's block.
Nothing to write about.
Nothing to write about. I remember I would sit and write. My boyfriend at the time, he knew I was a poet, you know? Never had read any of my poems. Never, you know, and it was... That is not on him. That's on me, you know. Like,
Did you not share?
I never felt safe to.
Okay.
Because those are my raw emotions, you know. I never felt safe to. So, I was just in a writer's block. I would try to sit and write, could not write. It would just be gibberish, or I couldn't even write like, hey, this is my day today. Like, there was really nothing to write about. I think, and I became pregnant when I got pregnant with Cleo. In 2019, sheesh. When I got pregnant with Cleo in 2019, I tried to write about it, and I couldn't. And then
Were you happy?
I was so happy, yes. I was never for a second upset to be. I was pregnant. I was 19 when I was pregnant, and 20 when I had my daughter, and I was happy the whole time. And I had a good pregnancy, and she was good to me. I rarely got sick. I know I didn't do all the corny pregnancy shit. You know, I didn't.
The photo shoots.
I didn't have any photo shoots. I didn't do the belly cast. I didn't, you know.
Why? That's moms love doing that shit.
I know. I think I was just so like focused on what am I gonna do for us instead of living in the moment of that. And I remember the day that I was overdue. I was a week overdue when I had her. And I had to get induced into labor. I remember the day I had to go to the hospital, I went to the gas station. I got my cravings, which was an icy and some Twizzlers and some popcorn.
You eat Twizzlers?
I did.
Oh, man.
When I was pregnant. And so I remember I sat in the car, and the SpongeBob ice creams, the popsicles with the gumballs.
Oh,
yes.
Man.
That I would have like, I don't want to talk about how many I had, but yeah, her dad at the time worked at an ice cream factory. Like, it was not well,
man.
But it was my favorite. But this is so off track. But I remember I cried in the car. I cried because I was just like, I let all this time pass where I didn't do all these little things. I didn't take the pictures. I didn't do the belly cast. I maybe had like 6 pictures of me pregnant. You know, like I didn't do much. And so looking back at it, if I were to ever have another baby, I would do it all. You know, and
did your partner at the time, did he want to do those things? Like, did he want to engage in the maternity picture?
So I did a gender reveal and I had a baby shower. And I only did both of those things because he wanted to. I didn't even want to do those things, you know?
Wow, you were out of it.
I was just out of it.
Wow.
Yeah. But I was happy. Does that make sense? Like, I was so happy to be carrying this life and to be able to create life. Like, that's a whole thing in itself. And I was excited and I was ready, but I've always just been like a go, 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 go. And for me, it's like, at the time, I was like, there's no time for me to sit here, take these dumbass pictures and plan this dumbass, like, huge baby shower and this, and that. Even the gender reveal was so last minute. I remember my friend came with me. They told her the gender. And I was just like, I've been waiting too long. It's been 4 or 5 months. Like, someone tell me what the fuck I'm having. I was like, I know it's a girl and I know her name is Cleo. Don't tell me.
You already knew.
I knew.
You knew in your heart.
I knew in my... No one could tell me that it was a boy. No one could tell me that she was a boy. No one could tell me that her name wasn't Cleo. From the jump, like from the day I found out I was pregnant, I was posting pictures like Cleo's mom, and I would have looked a whole fool.
A whole ass fool.
A whole fool had it not been a Cleo, you know. But I just knew very deep within myself, like, this is what I'm carrying.
Your baby girl.
This is my baby girl. And I'm not very religious, but I remember, I know I had a baby young, and I know it's not ideal for many people, but I know I prayed for her. Like, I prayed for her before I got pregnant. And my life would be so much different had I not had her, and I don't think I would be doing anything that I love had I not had her.
I'm surprised she ain't here with us.
Not in a time. Hey, she be everywhere. Cleo is the scene, you know?
She is.
Cleo is the scene, yeah.
She really is.
Yes. And it's so cool because I don't have her on the weekends, you know, so I have the freedom. But now when I have my events, like, her dad brings her to my shit.
Crazy
so that's so cool.
It's crazy
I'm
cool.
so blessed to be able to have that. We've talked about that before. Like, it's such a blessing to have that relationship where my daughter can see a healthy dynamic, whether we're together or not, and she can see, like, oh, mom is doing all this cool shit. Like, this is what mom does Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday when I'm not with mom, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not like she has this idea of, I don't know what the hell my mom does. It's like,
I
know.
Yeah, my mom made a short film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these kids,
my mom got snow cones out here.
At the time, it may not be cool to them, but they just, because it's new and it's like, it's what they're accustomed to.
Yeah, like your kids, they have no clue how cool you are.
They don't understand.
They don't know. But
they don't
even
understand.
like we talked about, like, my dad, how I never really thought he was the coolest. My stepdad.
Your dad do everything.
My stepdad does it all.
Does everything.
Like everything.
Everything.
Met everyone, been to everywhere. Yeah, and I never thought he was cool until maybe like the past 2 years. And so I'm just waiting for the day where she's like, my mom is cool. Because I'm going to be like, yeah.
You're like, yeah, I was.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. I'm going to be like, this is me.
And this is us.
Yeah, and
Showing her
this
everything.
is us. Yeah. And I got a film camera. I like to document, like, the things we do together and a lot of our firsts, you know. Especially, like, being a single mom now. Like, I think it's important for me to show her, like, we were still having a good time. Shit was still popping. Life was still good.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you get a lot of moms who, rightfully so, they go through the issue of not having the child's father or that relationship, and they make it seem like it was miserable, which some may have that, but some don't. And I think what you're doing is very commendable because your daughter's going to say, damn, my mom did it with or without a man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Man, shout out to the moms who, you know, can't do the things that I can do and don't have either the access to help or the ability to have a good relationship with the father of their child.
Or just a mental capacity.
It's a
That
lot.
shit takes a lot.
It's a lot,
Takes
you
a
know?
lot.
But I forgot what the question was, Terrell.
We were talking about how you got into this art world.
Yes.
You know, you had Cleo.
Yeah, so I had Cleo. And I left that relationship where that creative block was, that writer's block was, And I still could not write for the life of me. I was so depressed. I was so depressed.
Do you feel like you were still attached to him?
I was, yeah. I was torn up, Sarah. Wow. Like, I mean, everybody goes through relationships that are not the best, I mean, my relationship, to be exact, was very abusive in a lot of different ways. And I was very much so in love, you know, to the point where, like, I was very oblivious to this shit is not good and not good for me. And so when it ended, I was so stuck on, like, but we were in love, you know?
Why did it end?
But why, yeah, like, and then what's wrong with me? And, like, what did I do? Because, I mean, as some people know, he got married, like 6 months later. I don't know, something like that, 6, 7, maybe 8 months later. He got married to the woman that he was, you know, involved with at the time of everything. And so
while you two were together?
The facts will show that, you know, but the man will deny that. Okay. Yeah, so that is my one of my good friends now. So it's like I don't like to really talk about how shitty things ended and started, because as bad as it was, and as like much of like you might not be the best person to do those type of things, he is still my daughter's dad. And there's beauty in that, and he's still someone that I once loved very deeply. And he's family. He'll always be family, you know, so I'm never going to, like, sit here and tear him down. But, yes, left the man, was tore up about it, was in a writer's block. Bad. And so funny because I got a new journal January. So we broke up December. I got a new journal January. I met a man. I started dating again.
So you moved on fast too.
Shit. I mean,
a little bit.
I physically moved very fast, you know. And I mentally was in two places. I mentally was like low-key crying myself to sleep, but also like out on these trips with this new man and like living my best life, you know?
Ooh.
And so,
your best fake life.
My best fake life. And also like it was my first time, like I had my daughter every day for the past year, you know? And all of a sudden I have weekends free. I was working a 9 to 5, like I was off on the weekend, living it up, living like Larry, you know? Yeah. So I got a new journal January. I met a guy, for purposes we'll call him Blue. You know, I met Blue.
Good old Blue.
Good old Blue. My favorite muse. I met Blue, and I remember on February 12th, 2021, because I just looked back at my journal like a couple days ago. I wrote in my journal, word for word, I still cannot write. And I put, I can't even write poetry. And then it said, like, how did I allow myself to end up here? To end up to where I can't even write. Like, how did I allow that?
Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah. And I saw it a couple days ago, and I just chuckled at it. Because, like, February 12th, 2021, Kayla, yeah.
You writing your ass
yeah,
off
she didn't
now.
know. This little bitch writing. You know?
Writing.
Every day, too. And then I thought I had fallen in love, right? I thought I had fallen in love, and I started writing. I, like, felt some new shit that I hadn't felt in a minute, and I, like, raced home. Ooh. And, like, opened up my journal and was like...
At it.
Yes, it was February 22nd, 2021. Yeah, I remember because I was like, okay, 222.
Okay.
And I locked it in, and I wrote a poem. I wrote my first poem. I wrote Commit, which is my first posted poem.
Wow.
Yeah, I wrote Commit, and I was like, fuck, this shit fire, low key, you know?
You was in it.
And then I started just writing again. And granted, like, that didn't work out. Blue didn't work out. We know that. If you read my poems, we know that. Blue didn't work out, and I was not really in love, you know? It was just new, and I was just...
Happy?
I was just happy for once in a very long time. Whether it was, like, a deep happy that I was in or just a very surface level happy, I was finally happy. Enough to, like, I was no longer under such a dark cloud to where I couldn't even write. Like, I finally
You were at
rose above
least
that.
happy enough to feel something.
I was at least happy enough to feel
there we
something.
go.
Yes, yes. Because for so long I was very like numb, right? So I was at least happy enough to feel something, to write something. And so I started writing all the time, and then I started going to an open mic. And it was very much.
Let's talk about it. Listen, we're not going to skip over that. We're not going to skip over that. Because this is where myself and a lot of others met Kae Oden.
Yes.
Okay. So, this new poetry night opens up. Spotlight Poetry.
Yes, shout out L.
Shout out to L. L, hope you're doing your thing. And we're going to this poetry, right? Okay, so the first time I saw you at poetry.
Yes.
You go on stage. But, your vibe was very much like, you came fly. Let's just be real. You came fly.
Always.
But you ain't come to talk to nobody.
Ever.
You
At the time, no.
No. I'm going to tell you why. You go on stage. You do this poem about some dude you're dating who's the most amazing guy in the whole wide world. You get off stage. Of course, everybody wants to congratulate you. Everybody wants to meet you. Who is this new girl? But it was something about the way you carried yourself and the way your body language was that we knew you ain't want to talk to none of us. Nobody there. Fast forward. Wednesday to Wednesday.
Wednesday to Wednesday.
You go on stage again. You destroy this nigga.
To obliterate the nigga.
So now we looking like, yo, what happened from Wednesday to Wednesday? Then you become more personable. Then you talk to us more. Then you know what I'm saying, you giving out your Instagram, you giving out anything. What happened with that? Wednesday to Wednesday, huh?
Wednesday to Wednesday. Man, so I was dating this man. I was dating Blue.
We'll keep his name at Blue.
Huh?
We'll keep his name at Blue.
We'll keep his name at Blue. Yeah, we'll keep his name at Blue. I was dating Blue, and you cannot tell me shit. Like, I was so into this man. I thought he was the one. I thought he was all of the great things ever, And I think I painted the most beautiful picture of him. I wrote the most beautiful man ever.
Did.
Yes, love of my life was Blue, right? And then it was Wednesday, and it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday again, and Blue just was not acting right, And
that's why my favorite color red, just so you know. Blues don't get the job done sometimes.
Fuck a Blue. Respectfully. And so he just wasn't everything I thought he was, and shit kind of flipped very quickly, And I was like, you know what? Fuck Blue. Because as we talked about, I had been through so much in my past relationship, and I was having so much fun with Blue, and it was giving me so much hope, but it's like, I've been through this before. I'm good.
We're not doing round 2.
Yeah, we're not doing round 2, and we're not, like, doubling down on shit. We're not spinning no blocks. Yeah, I was like, we're not.
Definitely not.
Right? And I was like, we're not spinning no blocks. So I was mad, right? And I wrote, I don't even remember which poem it was. Should we look?
It was a couple of them. It was a couple.
It was a lot of them.
It was a couple Wednesdays where Blue was getting beat up.
It was some Wednesdays where Blue was getting beat up, and it was some Wednesdays where I was sitting there talking about, like, boo-hoo, Blue, like, baby, I miss you.
Yo,
yeah.
You were going through it.
I was going through it, but I was, like I said, like, I thought he was the one, so I thought I was, like, in love. And now looking back at it, I was not, But in that process, for me, it was like, man, like, I just got out of this shitty-ass, long-ass relationship. Met this guy. It was wonderful. It was great. We hit it off. I've loved somebody, but I've never liked somebody. Like the difference, like actually liking somebody and really fucking with them as a person,
right.
And like loving someone,
Yeah,
so I feel like I genuinely liked Blue. So I was just torn up as to like, I only had 2 boyfriends before that, both long term, one the father of my daughter, right? So I was just like, dating fucking sucks. Like, what do you mean I'm not going to be with every man that I date? Like, what do you mean?
Forever.
Yeah, like, I was like, it's no long-term relationship after this? Like, what are you talking about? Like, And so I was just tore up as it was, like, very much like a reality of, like, every man is not the one, Kayla. You can write all these beautiful-ass poems, and some men need to just die in your poems as these colors. And then I wrote Indigo Blue 2.0, and the first line is like the most relevance you'll ever have is as a color in these poems. And I just ate the nigga up after that, you know?
You started damn near doing rap battles. That's what it was. They felt like smack battles.
Yo, see, the thing is, like, niggas talk more than bitches these days, right? Whatever Drake said. So I knew that, like, Blue was listening.
You let him some Drake.
I knew that Blue was listening. And I know that Blue was listening. And
Blue's listening now.
I'm like, nah. Yeah. So I just knew that I was being watched very closely, that my shit was being read. And in that relationship with Blue, I don't feel like I was ever given... I never felt secure enough to where I could express any feelings that were negative, right? Okay. So it's like, I can't tell you directly, but I'm going to write these poems about you, and I'm going to go the fuck off, right? Yeah. And also, like, I could rap a little, but don't tell nobody, right? And I just feel like I rhyme very well.
You're
That's a lot. That's a lot, right? But no, they became like a series of diss tracks. And I did those for a while, but then I was like, man, like, I'm not this, like, hateful person. I feel no ways about Blue now. Wish him the best. Him and his, you know, I wish them the best. I wish them the happiest ever of afters, you know? And I wish them the best. Truly, genuinely, honestly, honest truth.
We believe it.
And I realized, like, I need to stop writing about this nigga. Sometimes I'll sprinkle a little here and there, but it's very much like I learned this lesson off of this.
Right.
Or just because I want to. Mm-hmm. But then I was like, let me write about, like, deeper feelings. Because by then, I got over the heartbreak with my daughter's dad. I, like, had my first, like, dating experience as an adult, too.
Mm-hmm. You're in the world now.
I'm in the world now, right? And I'm realizing, like, shit is not as sweet. And now I'm feeling other things. Mm-hmm. And I'm experiencing other things. And I'm like, I have all this other shit to write about. But for a while, it was like I had nothing to write about. And then I had Blue, you know? Yeah. And so now I feel like I have a very broad spectrum of things that I can bring to the table in my writing.
Right. And I want to ask you, too, because you go from this relationship to where you don't feel seen or heard. And that's who you have, you know, your child with. And then you hop in this relationship with this guy who you like and you enjoy a lot, and that doesn't necessarily pan out. But in both of those relationships, you're not really seen or shining as the creative that you are.
Yeah.
So now you come into this poetry world and people are seeing you, they're saying, oh my gosh, like, yeah, Kae Oden the poet. Yeah. You know, Kae Oden the designer, Kae Oden the... How did that transition make you feel?
It was a lot of, like, power, but a lot of also, like, questioning myself, second guessing myself. I feel like you were there throughout that journey of me, like, even doubting, like, should I even be in this room right now?
Yeah.
Like, are people only snapping and clapping because they think I'm pretty? Or because I might have told a little joke? Or maybe they like my outfit today, you know? Or do people really like the content that I have to bring to the table? And so it was a lot of, like, the insecurities, and I felt I had no self-worth in, especially my relationship with my daughter's dad, you know? And so I had a lot of baggage and insecurity within myself and zero confidence within myself. So it was a lot of me, like, having to check myself, having to talk myself out of feeling like I didn't deserve to be seen. Or, like, I should just shut up, like I've been told before, you know? And, like, told, like, no one's going to want to listen to you talk. And no one's going to want to, you know, hear the shit you have to say. And who cares? Or go talk to a wall, Kayla. That was one of their favorites, you know? And so... Crazy. And so it was a lot of me just, like... I went to therapy for a long time. I started working out again. I started waking up early. writing whatever whenever I could. It was a lot of like inner work and healing that I had to do to accept that like the love and support that I'm getting now is well deserved, and I can finally step into myself because I don't rely on other people, and I know my value is not dependent on what somebody else thinks of me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that mental part of it is such a huge aspect. But I also believe that the physical part of it is a huge aspect because you went to work. Let's not act like you didn't go to work. You were going up every Wednesday with something new.
Every Wednesday.
And you even did a duet type of
I did.
poetry with another poet.
I did. Okay.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? You did that, and then you were out here designing spaces. You designed MySpace.
I did.
You designed Junction.
I
You
did.
know what I'm saying? A bunch of other spaces. You worked with Control Collective.
I did.
Different things and all the other projects that you have going on, but you really put in the work as well.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's a big attribute to who you are as a creative and as a real worker.
Yeah.
You know, because physically you have to put that work in. You have to. You did that.
Yes, I was at that point not even trying to prove others wrong. I was trying to prove to myself that all the things that I had been wanting and all the things that I saw for myself I deserved and I was capable of having. And I was going to show me and I was going to show my daughter, you know, that like I could still do it. And I could kill it. And I don't give a fuck if I'm not sleeping, if I'm at your studio till the sun's up, painting. I'm like, I do not care. Literally. And a lot of times it was hard, and it's a lot of like, man, fuck this. Or like, you know what, I'll just keep doing what I was doing because it was easier, to be so honest, because this is not easy. But it's like, I have to push through those moments, and I'm very firm on like faking it till I make it now. So I could be having the worst day, and I'm going to turn on Lauryn Hill. And I'm going to sing like I'm having the best day ever.
Make it happen.
I could be crying, right?
In relationships, too, because I've had the pleasure of knowing you for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to see some of those relationships with certain people that folks don't know about. You got relationships with people in Los Angeles, relationships with people in New York, in Boston.
I do.
Who work with bigger brands and big name companies and have good positions. And I think a lot of people, since they don't see that, they see past it, or they oversee it.
Yeah.
But like I said, you're out here really putting the work in.
Yes.
And all of those relationships are going to come into the light, and then people are going to be like, damn, how did she know them?
Yeah.
But you put that work in. You took the time to hit the road and deal with those people.
It's a lot of like undercover work, behind the scene work. Not only in other cities, but in my city as well. I'm born and raised here, you know, and I've made it a point to support everybody around me, right? Like I would want others to do for me. And it's a lot of like just talking to people. And I used to be a very quiet person, and at times I still have my moments where I'm a bit shy, you know, or when I don't want to talk to nobody, or I feel like I need to recoup and get back to just myself. But I am in a place now where it's like, I know what a hi, my name is Kayla will do. Hi, my name is Kay, I do this. Or, hey, I like this that you have going on. I know that that can build a relationship for me that can inspire me in my work and help me spread what my message is and help me spread my artistry as well. Yeah.
Do you feel accepted yet?
No.
No?
I feel accepted by most.
Do you feel accepted by the creative scene?
In a broad spectrum, the creative scene, yes. I feel like we talk about it all the time, like a damn, where the fuck have you been? You know? It's a very much like a warm hug, like come here, with a lot of different scenes within the scene, if that makes sense, and a lot of different creatives, and whether it be rappers or artists or poets, you know.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. Designers, all types of people. Like, I know it's at least a handful of people in each little community. I don't want to say little, but in each community that loves and accepts me or likes what I have going on or believes in me.
Yeah.
But then there's the flip end where there's some people who don't, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you ever feel as if you have a chip on your shoulder?
In what way?
In a way that you have something to prove?
I feel, yes, to answer that very, straight up yes. But it's only because I've only been on the scene for 6-7 months now, and I'm young. I just turned 22 a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. So I started 21, new mom, all the shit that I like to do, all the things I have to bring to the table, And not to but I feel like I'm effortlessly good at everything at a very good level. I'm very much pretty decent in everything that I like to do. And I've noticed that not all scenes are a family community, and some of them are a bit of a competitive thing. And I got competitive spirit, I do, but I don't ever think art is a competition, ever. It's art, right? And I think there's space for everybody, and I know not everybody feels that way. And I know a lot of times it's this little ass girl, she's 22. Yeah, she's from here, but she ain't really been on the scene that long. And for me, it's not a fuck you, but a fuck you. I have so much to offer that has been within me for so long. So yeah, sometimes I feel like I gotta prove that. I may have not been on the scene all my life. I may have not been actively, doing poetry or doing design or making ceramics or rugs or, any of that stuff. But
you're here now.
I'm here now, And it's I'm here now. Please respect me. Because I feel like I have a lot to offer. And I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I don't want to be. And it's never the goal to be better than anybody. It's never the goal to even have, I guess, clout. It's very much for me, after all I've been through, after such a long time of not being this creative self, not being myself, I just want to be myself. I just want to show what I have. There could be one person at my open mics, go Kae, and I would be happy, There could be no one at my open mics, I'd be happy. I had 20 followers on my poetry page for a very long time. I was ecstatic. Every other day, posting a poem, and my 3-4 friends are yeah, woo, yeah, we love you, Kae. I'm yes, I love you too,
That's the real love, though. That's the genuine love that you get.
And then when I hit 100, I cried. And now I'm almost at 200, and I'm
Milestones.
Yeah. And it's so little, but it means a lot to me, you know?
And I'm going to tell you this, too. I think, for you joining this scene, this community, in the way that you did right after the pandemic, when shit opened back up, new poetry spot.
Yeah.
After the screening of I Know Men Get Lonely, Too, I saw people look at you differently.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Good way?
In a good way, yeah, because you get someone who says they're going to do something, who says they want to do things, and now you've created a film. Not just a film, but with Jamari, who's someone who people love.
Amazing person, Jamari.
With Earl, who's someone that people love.
Amazing man, Jamari.
Not
Jamari, fucking Earl. Amazing man, Earl. We gotta crop that.
Yeah. You get those people together, and then it's if those people who are respected respect you, now it's almost a thing of, fuck, I gotta look at her differently. I gotta respect her a little bit, even if I don't want to. Just by association, I have to.
Yeah.
And I saw that, and I just want to applaud you for that. And
Thank
I tell you all
you.
the time, you got it.
Thank you. Thank you.
It. Now, you mentioned something. I wasn't going to bring it up. You said at your open mic?
Ooh, I did. I said at my open mic.
At your open mic?
Yes.
You have an open mic?
I do now.
Wow.
Yes, it is going.
So from attending open mics to having your own?
Yep.
Talk about
6 months, baby.
Talk about it.
So I got the opportunity to hold my own open mic at the Classic Jewel.
Wow. Wow.
Here on Bonnieville and 4th Street.
At the Jewel?
At the Jewel, baby.
Legendary.
My spot. You know it. Where the artistry began. And so I got the opportunity to host my own open mic there. It is called Poet Up.
Poet Up.
Poet Up.
Okay.
Poet Up.
What can we expect from this open mic?
This open mic for me, I have been to many open mics on the scene within the span of me being a poet, and they're all wonderful, and I feel like they all have their own vibe. But for me, I really want it to feel like it's just a big ass group of close friends that are getting drunk and like talking, you know? And I want people to feel comfortable to just come as they are. Oftentimes I hear, I guess I dress homeless.
Wow.
You know? It's the vintage.
Damn. They doing you like that?
I mean, I just wear a lot of baggy stuff, a lot of old shit, you know? And it's
What
not...
you rocking right now? Mac Miller hoodie.
I'm gonna be so...
Mets cap.
My mom got this for me at
the
a
windiest
baseball
of
game.
windbreakers. Them bitches is going.
Yeah, just some like Adidas. It was a tracksuit. It's a fit. These are my mom's old shoes.
Okay.
Very much fly. I like to wear them bowling because they glow in the dark. But even though I gotta change the shoes, Mac Miller, one of my favorite artists of all time, and New York. We know I go hard for New York.
You go hella hard.
Hard for New York. I'm never like not in a like hat.
New York and Hove. Jesus Christ.
H to the is. That's my shit. I grew up on that. You know, my dad's from Brooklyn, so I always am like, you know, I'm playing. But
people come as they are.
yeah, I want people to come as they are, and I want people to feel like it is a judge-free, competition-free. You know, because in a lot of I've noticed in a lot of open mics, there's this culture of slam poetry, and slam poetry is amazing.
That shit is deep.
It's shit. They eat you up in slam poetry, right? But as beautiful as it is, it kind of has this wanting to like be better than the next person vibe, you know? And for me, it's like, I don't give a fuck what level you are. I don't care if you've been doing poetry for 10 years, like some people have, or if you've been doing poetry openly for 6 months. You know, I do not give a fuck. Like, please just come and showcase what you have to offer. And it's going to be on Tuesday. The first one is going to be this upcoming Tuesday, October 12th.
Come on now.
And it's going to be half off tequila.
So you're trying to get people fucked
I'm trying to get you fucked up. I'm trying to get Poet Up. I'm trying to get you fucked up. Like, bottles of tequila are half off.
Okay.
Casamigos, the drink of the summer, they need to sponsor me. It's usually $13, but it's about to be $6.50 on this Tuesday. I'm serious.
Is it a bottle?
No, a
I was
shot.
about to say, listen, you will have motherfuckers out there going crazy.
Poet Up. Yeah, and so I just really am looking forward to having an environment, and also just the venue of Classic Jewel. It is so cool. It's very spacious, you know, but it's also very intimate. They got candles and shit on the stage. Like, it feels good. It feels good. And I just want people to, they have food. I want you to be able to just come
wings
kick
fire?
it.
They got fire wings?
Fire. Oh my, they have chicken and waffles, Sorrel.
They gotta be fire though.
So you will not be disappointed.
Look, if the chicken ain't fire, I don't
You
know
will
if I
not
can
be
do it.
disappointed. You will not be disappointed.
Okay.
They have it all. They got chicken fingers and fries if you picky like me. They got pizza. You know, they have like a lot of, it's a very broad, beautiful menu. And actually this Tuesday on October, we're having a pop-up taco truck outside.
What?
So all types of food. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All types of food.
So it's gonna be a vibe.
It's a whole
gonna be a
vibe,
vibe.
yes. And I just want people to come together as a community, whether you fuck with poetry or not, you know, and there's going to be a live DJ. And more, I want it to be like a networking thing as well, you know. There's going to be people that do rappers, some of my favorites. Okay. Rappers, musicians, artists, poets, all of it, you know. We're all going to be there. And I just want it to be very beautiful, and I want people to feel safe. And I want people to feel like they're not being judged. And shit, like, if you get drunk and you want to go on stage and cry about a poem, go ahead. Like, I might too, you know? And I just, like, I don't want anybody to think that they can't share their work, even if they never have before, you know? Yeah. Or even if they're...
Just do it. Just go up there and
just do it. Just do it. Or if you, like, I don't know, like, I have friends in the poetry scene who have been to other open mics, but they're just like, oh, I don't feel like I fit in there. Or I don't feel like that audience is for me. Or, like, they understand my work. I want and I hope that I can bring an audience that is so diverse that everybody feels understood. You know? So that's what I hope for. Poet Up.
Poet Up. Next Tuesday.
October 12th, 7 p.m. till close. They close at 12. Okay. So it's very much like you can go on stage. By like 9. Yeah. You know, come when you please, as you please, with who you please. For real.
With who? With let me stop. Who you bringing? The city. You say the city.
The city. I was about to say the man who lives upstairs.
The city. He live upstairs and he ain't coming.
At all. Yes, the city. I hope the city. Yes.
City's coming.
Yes.
And you say you've had the chance to work with Kiari
Stone, Fendi Sean,
Wes on Acid,
Earl Swander, like Sarah Bell.
Come on now.
Are you kidding me?
Zayden.
Wow. Zayden Littleton.
Listen.
Jamari.
It's early. This is early.
It's so early.
This is early.
It's so early.
And then you have... No, I'm not going to talk about it.
What do I have?
You have some things coming, right?
I do.
You do? What do you got coming? I don't want to talk about it, so you decide what you want to tell people that you got coming.
I'm not going to share the basketball court.
Don't do it.
I don't know if they heard that, but so I've been for a while working on a line of ceramic pieces.
Ooh.
And it had to get pushed back a little because I needed to get right, you know.
You got a name for it?
Koi Ceramics.
Look at me asking
Kae Oden Interior Ceramics. Yeah, ooh. I know, huh? So that's gonna be dropping in the fall. It is the fall, so very soon, very soon. Okay. I'm hoping to have a pop-up for that. Very one-on-one, all handmade pieces.
Wow.
I'm doing it once. Okay. I've been into ceramics for about 4 or 5 years now. It's just something I do like on the side.
It's just something she does. It's nothing crazy. It's some shit she do on the side.
So Koi Ceramics coming soon. And then I Know Men Get Lonely Too was my first single as a spoken word artist.
Wow. First single.
First single. Featuring Fendi Sean, produced by Kiari Stone, produced by Wes on Acid.
Yeah.
Literal all genius, you know? Beautiful, also diverse and amazing and awesome. But that being said, so first spoken word single. I'm hoping to drop more singles, but I'm working on an EP right now.
Ooh. So we're going to get a full body of work.
You're going to get a full body of work.
Which means more films?
Possibly. Possibly. But you're going to get a full body of work, and it's going to be so beautiful. I want all types of beats. Maybe I'll throw in an 808. I don't know, but it'll be spoken word.
Okay.
And should I say the release date? Because this date's very important to me.
Say it. Let them know.
December 19th.
December 19th. Anywhere but here. Listen, the EP is coming out December 19th.
December 19th.
You got it first.
Yes. December 19th. And that day, it's a Wednesday, I'm pretty sure. Middle of the week.
Wednesdays are special to you, though.
They were.
I love it.
December 19th was the day that my daughter's dad and I separated. Quite literally the worst day of my life. And I just want to reclaim it. And I want to make it something beautiful because I know I'm going to struggle around the holidays. A lot of firsts as a single mom. A lot of things that are going to trigger me around that time. Um, and I just want to reclaim it. I just want to make it mine. And I want it to feel good, you know? I don't want to focus on my past. And so December 19th, I'm reclaiming the fucking day.
December 19th.
I'm reclaiming the day.
Do we have a name for it?
It's called Accessible.
Oh, man.
Accessible.
Wow.
In this EP, all of the poems have never been heard before, never been read before. A lot of the subjects have never been openly talked about. A lot of the things, it's really an EP that focuses on my journey and the healing that I had to go through, the pain, the heartbreak, the joy, the motherhood, all of that, you know, the finding myself. So it's a lot of things that I never talked about before, and I'm being very accessible.
December 19th?
December 19th.
You reclaim the throne?
I'm reclaiming the fucking throne, yeah. I'm claiming it, actually. I'm claiming it.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go. So we got December 19th.
Yes.
The EP.
Yes.
Ceramics. Another project I can't speak about, and I won't speak about.
Yeah.
You're working with all these people. You're
Yes.
redesigning spaces.
I am.
And there's something special that I heard you guys are going to do with I Know Men Get Lonely Too.
So I know
can we
men
talk about
get
that?
yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay,
yes.
okay. My favorite part.
Earl Swander and I, Peaceful Human, we are so excited and we're so proud of this film. We really, really are. I gave it my all. He gave it his all. And so we are going to be submitting it to a few short film festivals.
Yes.
And we hope that people feel exactly what, you know, our local scene felt when they saw it and what we felt when we made it and when it came together. And we just want to share our work and spread awareness. And it's a very, like, for us, by us film.
Oh, yeah.
It's black,
Very
blackety, blackety, black.
Very black.
And it's important. It's important. And so we're putting it out there.
There
and
we go.
We'll see what happens and where
Yes.
it goes. Yeah.
Bigger than the gram, as he says.
Hopefully, yes. Bigger than the gram.
Yes. So December 19th, the EP comes out. You got your own poetry night next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Once a month.
Hopefully, depending on the
Okay.
turnout. Once
gonna
a
be
month.
amazing.
Depending on the demand.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
Yes, yes.
Ceramics, a bunch of other projects. I heard somewhere through the grapevine you might go to Japan next year. I don't know. Listen, I don't know.
Tokyo, man, I'm coming for
Tokyo.
you. I'm coming for you. I mean, we talked about the connections that I made in different
Yeah.
cities, and that'll take me to different countries.
Wow.
You know?
They don't even know.
They don't even know.
They don't even know.
And I won't speak on it.
There we go.
And I won't speak on it.
I want you to know that I am extremely proud of you, and I'm proud of the
Thank
journey
you,
that you've
Sarah.
been on and that you have endured.
Thank
You know what I'm saying?
Sarah.
To get to this point and to get this far, and I just want to commend you. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Love you to death. You already know that.
I love you.
Yes. And where can the people out there, if they're looking for Kae Oden, if they want to find you, where can they find you at? Because I looked for Poetry by Kae the other day, and it didn't come up. So I see you changed the name on us.
There comes a point in being an artist where I have to claim what's mine, right? And where I pick my battles.
Right.
And I'm a woman of many, many, many crafts, many ideas. And some ideas are meant to live beyond me, you know?
Okay.
And meant to be expanded and to be shared. You know, even if they're not intended to be, they're meant to be.
Right.
And we talked about letting things go, and sometimes when things don't go as planned, just letting it, you know? And so Poetry by Kae is Gone with the Wind. Poetry was fun, you know, and it brought me a lot of joy. And I remember when I thought about it, it was really a play on words. Like, I don't know if people have noticed, but through my work, I like to play with words. Like, I like to just fuck around a lot. And I was fucking around, you know? Poetry by Kae was very much available. And I was just like, poetry, fuck it. Blue did not like it at the time.
Of course he did.
You know? But I've matured, my art has grown, and things have changed, and so now I can be found. My poems can be found. My short film can be found. Any events that I'll have coming up in regards to poetry can be found at Poetry. That's Poetry by Kae, K-A-E.
Okay.
So Poetry by Kae is out, and Poetry by Kae is new.
And the single, where can they find the single at?
My single is on all platforms right now. It's on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora. I saw it on some random YouTube playlist. It's Google Play. Like,
it's crazy.
It's everywhere. I'll send you the link directly. I'll send you the audio file. Like, what you want, I'll send it to you.
I have the original treatment, so I'm good.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Basketball courts. You know what I'm saying? When you have people walking through the courts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got all that.
Yeah. You have the original, and
yeah,
it's just the start of a lot of beautiful things. And so, I mean, I always talk about how, like, I get very emotional when I speak about, you know, the age of 21 for me, because it was not this fun party 21. It was hard, and it was finding myself and rebranding myself. And now 22, I'm ready to just own it and boss the fuck up. A lot of fun.
Have you come into a space where you found someone to share all this with? People want to know.
Romantically, no.
No?
No, sir.
Why?
I am a strong woman, right? I am a firm woman. I am a bold woman. Never met someone who could handle it.
Okay.
But not only that, I feel like I require a lot of patience, a lot of understanding. I'm on this journey right now of finding myself and finding myself in motherhood as well, right? And so you're a dad, you know. I need someone who loves me and my daughter and supports me and kind of just like lets me do my thing, you know? And I haven't had that. And I'm at a point right now where I don't really give a fuck anymore. And I write all these poems of this deep yearning for like love, you know? And like, I just did Loveless Coffee. And I wrote that shit today because I was at Makers and Finders. Or no, I was at Mothership. Sad as fuck because I saw all these couples and I was like, where is my nigga, you know? But then I had to realize, like, I'm young. My path is different. And if I have a person, it'll all be in due timing. And so I'm just kind of focusing on myself, and I am open to love, and I would say I'm like finally ready to receive it. Like, we talk about how I, you know, went through this as a very big like separation in December, and then I'm taking flights and all types of things in January, you know, and
JetBlue.
All that, right? Flying, all that. And I wasn't ready when I did that. I was not ready, and maybe I know for sure that's my fault. Like, I should never rush into things when I'm not ready. But I know now I'm at a point where I'm ready. But I'm not like seeking it. And I have so much love around me, and I have so much love from my friends that I receive, and from my family that I receive, from my daughter, and from myself. To where it's like, I don't, yes. To where it's like, I don't really care, and it'll find me, and I'll find it, and it'll happen, hopefully, and we'll see.
You said by the end of this year?
Can I tell you a secret?
Uh-oh.
Do you believe in?
She got a boo, y'all. Who is it? What's his name?
I'm single. But I have a crush.
You do?
I have a crush.
Really?
Yeah. I have a crush.
Are you going to tell us what it is?
No.
Of course not.
He knows. Only relevant men have colors, remember?
If I would have to guess, I would say
Terrell.
It might be the hue of a yellow.
Turn it off. We cannot. We'll just cut it out. Like, he might be the hue of a... No, I have a crush, but, like, sometimes crushes have to stay as crushes. And I'm looking for something that's going to be organic and just happen, so I'm not forcing anything, and I'm just kind of going with the flow. But my secret is not that I have a fucking crush, because I'm a Libra. I always have a crush.
Okay.
My secret is, do you believe in psychics?
I haven't had
prophets?
much experience in that world.
Did I ever tell you when I like spoke to a psychic?
You did.
I was on my way to LA to hang out with Falcons. And...
We're going to breeze past that like you didn't just,
Whatever. Hey, go see Falcons at Crickett's Playhouse. October 14th, I think? 15th.
Something like that.
Something like that. One of these
15th,
days.
Playhouse, Ferguson,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Falcons, whatever. Super talented, amazing, lovely. But anyways, I was driving there, and I was supposed to have a Zoom psychic meeting. And because I was just like, let me just see. I've had a lot of like people like prophesize over my life, so I'm like, let me just see. And also I have very like deep gut intuitions about things that throughout life have usually played out to be that, So I talked to this psychic, and she was like, she told me about my career and how I'm doing great, and all that is all that, and I asked her, because we all know secretly I'm a hopeless romantic. So I asked her, like, what about love? And what about, like, other babies? I want more babies.
Okay.
Oh, shit, I just said that, huh? And I was like, what about that? And she was like, actually, no, let's step back a little bit. She just brought up, like, she was like, you have a daughter, right? And I didn't tell her. And I was like, yeah, I do. And she was like, I keep seeing that your daughter is, like, 3 or 4, and she is a big sister.
Oh.
And I started sobbing, because I have this genuine fear that, like, I'm never gonna find someone to have more children with, and not only that, but just that, like, Cleo's it. And that's probably, like, my biggest fear in life, because I deeply, like, want a family. Of course, Cleo and I are a family, but I want to build on that. And I want someone to share that with. And so I started crying, Sarah, crying. And she was like, yeah, and Cleo is such an amazing big sister to her little brother. And now I'm crying more, because I'm like, it's a boy. I'm like,
Your wishes are coming true.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I slowly was no longer as skeptical, because I didn't mention a baby. Cleo wasn't even with me. There's no baby background noises. The lady had never seen me, didn't have my social media, didn't know anything, And then I was like, okay, like, there's a baby, but, like, am I with the dad? Like, what's up? Like, what am I doing? Like,
You want the deeper meaning.
yeah, and it's just like, I talk about all the time, like, I don't want to continue to raise kids alone. I'll do it, happily, but it's not what I want. And she was like, no, you're with them. And I was like, she was like, you're with them and you're so happy. And she was like, at the time I was with Blue, and I was like, not with Blue, but I was like back and forth with Blue, and I was like kind of dating a little bit, but not really, because we all know, like, when I liked Blue, and so she was like, everybody that you are involved with now and anybody that you're involved with now is not it. Stop. She was like, stop trying. Stop looking. Stop dating. Like, it's just not it. Yeah. She was just like, stop. Like, you need to stop. And I was just like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, you might be wrong about that, but sure. And she was like, you're going to be in a very serious, committed relationship within like a year. And she was like, I keep hearing like a year mark. So she's like, I'm not sure if it's the end of this year or a year from now. And that was in maybe like June. I don't know.
It's time for you to stumble upon somebody.
That's what I'm saying. So like, when I say you want me to tell you a secret and like you said end of this year, it's like, shit, I don't know.
Could be.
According to the psychic, like could be. But it's like end of this year, like my nigga, it's October? It's October? Yeah. It's October.
Yeah, we at the end of the year.
Like,
yeah.
Baby, I don't know where you at, but like,
She's looking for you.
No, I stopped looking. She said stop looking, so I stopped looking.
She's waiting.
She's chilling. Like,
she's chilling.
Doors open though. I'm only in there.
She welcoming.
Yeah.
She's welcoming in the love in.
Yeah, but then to like, I was just like, that was in June, and life has been happening, and I'm single as fuck, and I like got a crush, but whatever, and I'm like, that bitch don't know what she was talking about. Fuck her. Fuck that. Not fuck that baby, but there's no baby, and there's no serious commitment. But then I went to like a women's church retreat, because I've been going to church like every Sunday for the past like month or two, just to go. And I went to a women's retreat that they had, and there was like a lady there who was a prophet, and she was just like, oh, you're gonna find love, like, she was like, you already know your person. And I was like, whatever, lady, because like, I'm not really dating anybody. Like, sure, I have a crush, right? But it's like, that's it, Miss Lady. She wouldn't really go into it, but she was just like, you're gonna find it. You know your person. I'm like, okay. And then like 3-4 days later, I'm sleeping. I wake up, and my friend, who is a prophet, because I believe in that, prophets definitely, texted me and was like, Kayla, you were in my dream last night. And I was like, LOL, like, what was I doing this time? You know, like, what kind of bullshit am I on this time? She's like, no, you were pregnant. She was like, and you were, like, standing in front of your new home. She was like, but it was being built, and it was on, like, a plot of land. And she was like, and Cleo was, like, 4. Right? She's like, and Cleo was, like, 4. And she was like, and I asked her, okay, like, was I in Vegas? Because we know, like, I have a very, like, by the time Cleo's, like, 4 or 5, I don't want to live in Vegas anymore.
You want to be gone.
I want to be gone. And we know, like, I think I told you, like, there's a plot of land that I've been looking at, right? And, like, it's on a hill, on a mountain. She said it was very green. She was like, hell no, it's not Vegas. It was super green. She was like, you're not.
We know where that's at.
Right? My dream place, right? So
we know.
So she was like, it was very, very green. And I was like, yes. And she was like, and Cleo was like 4. And once again, I'm like, okay, everybody keeps seeing this baby that I'm going to have. And she said it was a boy. So I got to pick boy names like fast. Anyway, she said it was a boy. And she's like, yeah, you're building the house and you have land and this and that. And I'm like so happy to hear all this, but I'm like, who is my man? Like, because
that's what you want to know.
My daughter's about to be 2 in January. You know, that's in like 3 months. Like, 2, 3, 4, and it's like, I would like to hope that I would be like married by the time I have another kid, right? So it just like in my head, it doesn't really add up. Like the math doesn't math. Like. And then she tells me who, like, the person she thought it was. She was like, yes. She was like, I didn't see him. But she's like, but as soon as I saw that you were pregnant, I felt who it was. And I was like.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were happy with who it was?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you?
Is
this thing on?
Tell me later.
I'm like, I'll whisper in your ear. But I was pleasantly surprised, but also it's like, this is my friend, so like stop fucking with me, you know.
Yeah.
But no, all of this was to say like my secret is that there's based off prophecies and psychic readings, I'm gonna find somebody and I'm gonna have a baby. It's not on the agenda, but I'm very like interested by it now. It's definitely something that's been like
intrigued.
I'm intrigued. I'm like I was talking to my friend today. I was like, we need to go get another reading, baby, because the time is ticking. Like the time is ticking. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I want you to know that I hope you get everything in this life that you deserve.
Thank
everything
you.
that you want, everything you wish for. You and Miss Cleo, because y'all
Thank
deserve
you.
it.
Yes, thank you.
I hope all these creative endeavors go well for you as well, because once again, you deserve it. And I just look forward to everything that you got coming along.
Thank you, Sarah. I love you.
And I appreciate you for sitting here being vulnerable with me and speaking.
Of course, I was telling everybody that I told that I would be doing this, that there is no other way I would sit down and do an interview, especially not for how long we've been talking, and especially not with like the honesty that I just gave you and the information that I gave you, because like I don't really talk to anybody.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So if there's anybody that could make me feel comfortable enough and that it could be fun with, it's you. And I think props to you, because I think everybody that sits down with you feels that way.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I appreciate you.
I love you.
I love you. Listen, I go by the name of Sorrel Bell. This is Kae Oden, my friend, my business partner. Ride or die, somebody I rock with. They know.
Yeah.
They know.
Yes.
They know. This is Anywhere But Here. Another episode. You want to see yourself, go find her. Poetry by Kae Oden. Y'all know what it is.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yay. Ah, that was fun. That was so fun. Thanks, Sean.